Hello, and welcome to my clay pin tutorial, or at least the intro to one. My name is Allie, and I'm a senior at the University of Vermont studying art education. Well, technically, I'm sort of a graduate due to the very strange and scary pandemic that the world is facing right now. I was supposed to write up a unit that would be applied to a real-life art classroom, but that kind of got cut short. So, I scrapped my original idea completely and decided to make a lesson that could be done in the comfort of your own home. Due to the current pandemic, our lives have been put on pause. At a time of social distancing and self-isolation, I wanted to create a unit that allowed people to think positively and work artistically. I landed on the unit idea of making clay pins from home with the theme, humans and their environment. If you're interested in making these clay pins, find a pen and pencil and take the next 5 minutes to start brainstorming ideas. Take a look around you. What factors of your current environment have a positive effect on you? Come up with a list of about 10 items that have personal significance to you. Keep in mind that these items don't have to be big, grand items. They can be anything that's meaningful to you. On my list, I have strawberries, my favorite food, coffee and tea, two things I've been drinking a lot of since I've been home, books, my dog, my toy elephant that I've had since I was a baby, named Wubby, paint and brushes and other art supplies, lavender. I'm currently rewatching the show Adventure Time, so I wrote that down in case I wanted to do some characters as pins. I wrote down the sun. That seems kind of silly, but when the sun's out, it makes my days a lot better. And then lastly, I wrote my plants. In the next video, we're going to start designing our pins. You're going to look at this list again and narrow it down to about 3 to 5 items that you wrote down before. I also wanted to introduce all the materials that I'll be using throughout these 5 videos. I found all the materials I needed at Michael's craft store. Some of the materials I bought you might also be able to replace with some home items. Starting with the clay we use, I bought the original Sculpey oven-baked clay, a white pack. We will be painting on the clay with water-based acrylic paints. Here I have 4 tools that I use on Sculpey clay. The knife in the center and the roller on the right are the 2 that I'll be using throughout these videos. Sculpey clay is relatively soft and easy to use, so if you don't have these tools, you can always use your hands, or you can use an X-Acto knife to cut, or even a butter knife, and you can roll the clay out with something like a highlighter or anything that's a cylinder if you don't have these. I prefer my clay pins to turn out a little shinier than how they do if you were just to use acrylic paint, so here I have Mod Podge. This is the super gloss top coat, and I'll be applying this after I paint my pins. Lastly, you'll need a pack of jewelry pins and some glue to attach them. Again, these things can be found at Michael's. They can also be found online if that's easier. So if you're happy with your list and you're ready to get designing, head over to my next video.